Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, mysterious ocean. The waves crash relentlessly, the wind whips around you, and beneath the surface lies a secret so profound, so elusive, that it could change everything you thought you knew about love and human connection. That secret, it's hidden in plain sight, yet most people completely overlook it. And the more you ignore it, the deeper you sink into frustration, confusion, and heartbreak, wondering why love feels so hard, so distant, so unreachable. Now, what if I told you that the core of the problem isn't them, the avoidant partner, the distant friend, the hesitant lover, but rather how you are approaching the situation? Because lurking beneath the guarded exterior of every avoidant individual is a truth so potent, so transformative, that it could finally unlock the door to their heart, if you know how to use it. Intrigued? You should be. Because what you're about to discover is the game changer you've been searching for. Something that shifts your entire perspective and changes the way you relate to avoidant attachment forever. Let's really get to the heart of what makes avoidant attachment so challenging. It's not just a personality style or a passing phase. It's a deeply ingrained survival mechanism. Think of it as a suit of armor, crafted over years or even decades to protect the avoidant from pain, rejection, abandonment, and disappointment. Every avoidant has a story, a history filled with heartbreak, betrayal, neglect, or loss that leaves deep emotional scars. These scars aren't just superficial wounds. They shape how they see the world, how they interpret love, and most importantly, how they approach intimacy. And here's the tricky part. These scars make them feel like getting close is dangerous. Their subconscious screams, "Stay back, danger ahead." Because their past has taught them that intimacy equals vulnerability, and vulnerability feels like a risk too great to bear. To protect themselves, they retreat behind walls of emotional distance, coldness, or indifference. They convince themselves that protection equals safety, safety from pain, from rejection, from abandonment, even if it means sacrificing the very thing they crave most: connection and love. Many people tend to misinterpret avoidance as just stubborn, aloof, or disinterested. They might think these individuals don't care enough, or that they're simply emotionally unavailable. But that's like calling the Titanic a boat. It's an oversimplification that does injustice to the complexity of human attachment. The truth is, avoidants aren't cold or uncaring. They're terrified. Their fear isn't irrational. It's rooted in real pain, in real past experiences that have left their emotional world guarded and fragile. When they see someone they care about getting close, their mind flashes warning signals. This could hurt. You might get abandoned. You're better off alone. And because of those fears, their subconscious develops a defense mechanism: emotional withdrawal, coldness, or silence. It's their way of protecting themselves from the perceived threat of emotional harm. Here's where most people go wrong. They try to force vulnerability or demand answers, thinking that more pressure will break down the walls. But that's like trying to open a locked door with a sledgehammer. Instead, what truly works is patience, empathy, and consistent, gentle effort. Imagine being a lighthouse in a storm, standing firm, steady, unwavering, even when the waves threaten to drown you. That's the approach you need with avoidance. Be the beacon of safety. Show up reliably, without judgment or expectation. When they sense that you're genuinely there without conditions, they start to feel safe. And safety, true safety, is like fertile soil for vulnerability. It's a slow process, often taking days, weeks, or even months. But as long as you keep showing up, remain consistent, and avoid pressuring them, the walls begin to weaken. And here's a little secret. Vulnerability begets vulnerability. When you share your own fears, struggles, or imperfections, you're not giving away your power. You're offering a gift. You're saying, "Hey, I trust you enough to show you my true self." That moment can be the catalyst that prompts their own honesty. Think of it as a dance. You lead by example, demonstrating authenticity and patience, and they follow, gradually opening up. The key is genuine, heartfelt honesty. They're not looking for perfection. They're craving realness, connection, and safety. And if you want to accelerate this process, one honest act of vulnerability from you can make all the difference. Maybe it's admitting your own fears of being hurt, sharing a past mistake, or expressing uncertainty about the future. When they see your genuine honesty, they realize maybe love isn't a trap after all. Maybe, just maybe, they don't have to carry their pain alone. Building trust with an avoidant isn't about grand gestures or quick fixes. It's about slow, consistent, reliable actions. Like watering a delicate plant, you can't rush growth. Patience, gentle persistence, and unwavering kindness are your most powerful tools. Every small step, every moment they choose to share a little more, trust a little deeper, is a victory. Celebrate those victories, no matter how tiny. They're the building blocks of lasting change. And here's an important insight. Becoming aware of their patterns is the first step for avoidants themselves. Recognizing their fears, defenses, and walls, that's not weakness, it's courage. Because once they see the problem clearly, they can start to work on it. And for the partner or loved one, your role isn't to fix or change them. It's to hold space, remain patient, and remind them through your actions that love doesn't have to hurt. It can heal. Now, let's talk about what actually begins to shift the dynamic. It's not just your actions, but your mindset. When you stop viewing their avoidance as rejection or stubbornness and start seeing it as a cry for help, a deeply rooted fear, you open yourself to compassion and understanding. You realize that their distance isn't about you, it's about their own internal battles. And that shifts everything. Instead of trying to fix them or force them to change, your job becomes creating a space where they feel safe enough to let their guard down. The ultimate secret? When you realize that love isn't a battlefield but a sanctuary, that's when everything shifts. When you stop trying to force vulnerability and instead become a safe harbor, you're not just helping them, you're transforming your relationship into something extraordinary. Because love isn't about perfection or instant results. It's about patience, persistence, and a willingness to show up, even when it's hard. That's what breaks down even the toughest walls. Love, at its core, is a journey, not a sprint. It's about planting seeds of trust, nurturing them with patience, and understanding that true connection blooms slowly but beautifully over time. If you're willing to walk that path, steady, gentle, unwavering, you might just unlock the heart of the avoidant and discover a love more profound, resilient, and rewarding than you ever imagined. Remember, the most powerful thing you can do is hold space for their growth while staying true to yourself. It's about offering compassion without conditions, patience without frustration, and understanding without judgment. Because in that space, healing happens. Trust begins to rebuild, walls come down, and love, genuine and deep, begins to blossom anew.